What's going on, traders? So I made that video the other day about the rule changes on Apex, and since then there's been a lot of backlash from the traders. There's been a lot of responses from Apex, and we're going to kind of get into those just to give you an update on what's going on. And I think it'll clarify and clear up a lot of the questions that are being asked. So the first thing is the 250K accounts. They were running a sale until the 20th, which everything that they did with these rule changes were saying, don't gamble, don't gamble, don't gamble. But in order for you to achieve that awesome discount on the 250K account evals and then the $85 lifetime fee if you do pass those accounts, was essentially saying gamble, because you only had until the 20th to pass it, which they knew in order to do that you would essentially have to gamble. So what did they do? This is directly from their Discord. They said, we are extending the offer for the 250K-85 PA lifetime fee. This is for the 250K account only. So everything else is still going to end on the 20th. The 90% off sale is going to end on the 20th, etc. But the 250K, the 90% off will last. I'm not sure exactly if the 90% will last or just the $85 lifetime fee, because it looks like they're talking about just the $85 lifetime fee. So I would suspect that the 90% off is still going to end on the 20th, but you have until the end of the month in order to pass that evaluation and then get the $85 lifetime activation fee. So it says this offer is good until the end of the month, May 2024. The 250K eval account will remain the same price as the 50K account as well until the end of this promo, which ends May 2024. So they're saying whatever the price of the 50K account is, even though it won't be 90% after the 20th, it will be whatever the 50K account is. So if it goes back to 80%, it would then be $33, $34. So on to the next one is the whole stop loss ordeal that we've been going through, where they're forcing you to put a stop loss in. If you go read the agreement, it's still in there. All right, so the fourth one down on the dashboard, request payout. If you click that, it's going to bring you here to the request payout page. I agree to payout request agreement. You can see this is a link. If you click it, it pops this window up. Control F, type in stop, scroll down until this paragraph here. I understand and agree that stop losses must be used at all times with all trade entries. Risk to reward ratios must be reasonable and in line with a 3-to-1. For example, if going for a 5-tick profit target, the initial stop loss must remain and be honored can be no more than 15 ticks. Any trading strategy that involves not using stop losses and sticking to them and keeping them are prohibited and unqualified, and any balances achieved will be removed, closed, and forfeited, and the contractor has no rights or claims to these for any credit or payout purposes. So if we go back to what they're now saying, so this is coming from Daryl himself, the CEO of Apex. He says, you can use a mental stop and take profit as long as not abused and your average risk reward lines up. We aren't looking at a per trade basis. So what he's saying is, until you get to payout, they're not going to be monitoring every trade. They're going to be looking for if your stop loss, essentially your average losses are no more than 3 times your average winners. That's what they're looking for. They're essentially just trying to make sure that you're not risking the whole account, looking for a small profit, if that makes sense. Which then brings us to our next thing, the dollar cost averaging. This is from Daryl himself as well. It is allowed one-time DCA, dollar cost averaging. Multiple ads in is not, of course, you can move stops to break even. I don't know what NOE means, but 1 to 3 means risking 3 times what you're going for. No, the other way around. This is the other thing. If you're the CEO of a company and you're coming in here trying to answer questions, proofread what you're saying, man. I mean, this is kind of embarrassing. So yes, less is welcome. You can set the stop so longer right after entry. Scroll up to see all answers, yada, yada. So what I'm getting from this is that you're allowed to average in once, but in the end, your risk to reward still, they're looking for it to be 3-to-1. So like I said in the video about the rule changes, if you dollar cost average, you still have a profit target in mind. And at the same time, you still have a risk level in mind. There's no reason that you can't dollar cost average and still go for that 3-to-1 risk reward. So this is essentially him going back on saying you can do it now just once, but you still have to try to keep that 3-to-1 is what he's saying. And then one other thing that I didn't bring up in the rule changes video, which is still not allowed and won't be allowed anymore, is what you guys were seeing me do with the opening trade, where you place a long order bracket and a sell order bracket on opposite sides of where I think the price is going to go. Now, they're saying it's random, but I'm picking those levels specifically. So I just don't know if it's going to go long or short. And to me, that is a perfectly legit strategy. But to them, they don't want you doing that. So he said, yes, random walk, aka placing a bracket order for entry on two sides of the market with no directional bias is not allowed. So he's saying you have to have an idea of where you think the market's going to go. And I want to see you place the orders in that direction. I don't want you to just not know where the market's going to go without any bias and allow your orders on both sides to get you into the market. I don't understand that at all, because no one knows if the market's going up or down. I try to not keep a bias as a trader. I don't want to assume I know where the market's going, because I don't. So being able to put orders on both sides because I don't know that, to me, is an edge in itself. So the fact that they're trying to take that away, I don't quite understand it. But hey, these are the rules. This is the CEO of Apex and what they're doing right now. They're slowly backtracking from what they said initially. Apparently these were always rules. Now they're enforcing them. Now they're going back to, well, we're not hard enforcing them. So, I mean, take this for what it is. I really think that they're trying to save face here with saying all these things. But at the same time, I also think that a lot of people are taking this way worse than they probably need to. I don't think they're going to use this to deny more payouts. I think they're really just trying to get rid of the extreme cases that are abusing the system. Was I abusing the system? I don't think so. I was looking for key levels. I wasn't looking for windfall trades. I was staying under the 30% rule. I was abiding by all the rules that they had in place. So I don't think I really played into that as much. Were they paying out too many people using the type of trade that I was with the bracket orders and Alpine and all those guys doing the same thing? Probably. And that's probably what they're trying to do. Is it a little scummy? Yes, it is. Are we allowed to deal with it? Yes. If you want to take your money elsewhere, you can. It's just like any business. If you don't agree with what a business is doing, take your money to a business that you do agree with what they're doing. Will I stick with Apex for right now? Yes, because I think I can still trade the open and be perfectly fine with it. And I still think that Apex offers the best overall structure versus any other prop firm. And they have been known to pay out. And until they deny me a payout for whatever reason, I'm going to stick with them. And no, I do not get special treatment because I am on YouTube or a YouTuber, an influencer, whatever you guys want to say. That's actually in the Discord as well, that they do not do that, which, I mean, obviously they would say that anyway, but I am not getting any special privileges. I've just simply been following the rules. Alpine has been denied by other prop firms, but not Apex. Take that for what it's worth. Will he be going forward? I don't know. So there's a lot going on here. And as I said in the last video, only time will tell. I've been saying that in the comment sections of that video as well. Only time will tell. And that's where we're at. So if you don't want to spend money with them, don't until you figure out what's going on overall. But I think everything's going to be fine. I do agree with what Michael said in there, that for 98% of traders, this is going to be fine. I do think they're just trying to enforce to get away from the people that are severely abusing the system. And I don't even think Alpine was one of the ones that they were targeting. I really don't. Now, with this order here, with the bracket orders on both sides, I do. But I do think there's a way around it. I'm not even trying to say a way around it in the way that I'm going to game the system. I just think that you can pick a direction or not pick a direction, and then you could use a manual entry instead of the bracket orders. Like there's several different ways to trade if you've been around for a while and you just kind of understand. So I don't think these rule changes are going to be that big of a deal overall, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying that they came and hit us in the side of the face with all of this all at once. You know, they could have said, hey, we're probably going to do some changes, enforce some rules that we haven't been so strict on, you know, think something along that nature. But unfortunately, they did it the way that they did, and here we are. So again, take that for what it's worth, and I will hopefully not get as many questions about this moving forward. That's kind of why I'm making this video. And let's move on. Again, if that's with Apex, so be it. If it's not, so be it. As a community, let's just move forward, do the best that we can, and let's try to get some payouts. So until the next one, peace.